Hi, everybody. Welcome today to the official True Crime Online podcast. Visit truecrime-online.com today. So, what do I want to talk to you today about? I think that with the recent tragedies, you had the Boston Marathon bombings and now the Oklahoma tornadoes, and then you have those three women in Cleveland, Ohio who were kidnapped and were discovered, I think it was 10 years later. You're going to see a lot of funds, auctions, fundraisers, people raising money for all of these victims. And the one thing they have to be so careful about, especially online, is that you're going to get emails from scam artists. The best thing to do is anything you get in your email, quite honestly, ignore it, trash it, delete it, don't even open it. What you need to do is keep an eye on TV or on the radio or in your local newspaper about the official fundraising activities that are going on for any events like this. You're going to get requests for money, and yes, you probably feel horrible and you want to donate money to help these poor victims and their families, and it's just horrible what has happened to them. But don't fall for a scam. They will send you some pretty heartbreaking emails, believe me. One of the best things you can do is to go to a website called scambusters.org. They are wonderful. They try and keep up with all of the latest scams, and not only for fundraising events like this, but those Nigerians that you hear about, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and other scams that are going on online. And another website that you can also go visit if you do get an email that you're not sure if it's true or not is Snopes.com. That's Snopes.com. They have a list of just about any kind of what they call online urban legend that you can think about. Everything from, if you've heard the stories about there's some sort of a brown spider that's hiding in ladies' restrooms and grocery stores or at airports and biting people when they sit, biting women when they sit down on the toilet. Turns out it's not a true story. If you get emails like this from well-meaning friends and relatives, especially if there are 3 or 4 forwards, FWDs, and the subject line, it's probably not true. And the best thing to do is go to Snopes.com, type it in their search engine, and see if they have any information about it. And more than likely, I would say 99% of the time, they will have either debunked it or verified that it's a true story. And they are really, really good. It's a husband and wife team that do things like this. And if you find something that seems kind of weird and you don't find it on their website, forward it to them. And they're very good about researching and letting you know whether or not what you received is true or false. Now, going back to scams, in addition to these victim fundraising efforts that you have to be aware about, there are also a lot of other emails that people are getting. Around tax time, people are getting some supposedly from the IRS saying that they owed more money than they really did, or they were not going to get their refund, trying to get people to either click on the attachment or click on a link that would take them to a bad website that would probably install viral software or virus software. And the same thing, you click on any attachments and you're opening yourself up for a can of worms on your hard drive that could possibly destroy your hard drive and destroy all the information that you have on your computer. So anytime you get any email, even if it looks like it's from somebody that you know, do not click on the link. Do not open the attachment unless you know for sure and you were expecting this email from your friend, your relative, a business associate, or whoever. I recently received some emails from a couple of friends who had Yahoo accounts, and when I clicked on the email, it was a link, and it claimed, hey, I've read this great article, blah, 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 and I hovered over the link, and it went to a completely different website than what the link said it was, and it turned out that their accounts had been compromised, and what had happened was whoever, and it's probably not hacking. That's what they call it. It's not hacking. It's basically guessing your password. And especially with Yahoo and a lot of other accounts that you might have, you may have a secret question that needs to be answered. And I can tell you, 9 times out of 10, that secret question can be answered just by looking through everything that you have online. So don't use your pet's name. Don't use your father's middle name or your mother's middle name or her maiden name or anything that may already have been posted online by you, because people tend to put out a lot more personal information online than you think. So make your secret question something really hard for them to guess, and kind of hard for you to remember, but hopefully you'll remember it, and you won't have something like this happen where your account will be compromised, basically taken over, and then they go through your email address book and send emails to all of your friends in the address book, hoping that they will click on the link and become victims for them. Going on to the Nigerian scammers, you've probably heard the stories, and they've gotten very creative. I've noticed that I've been getting emails addressed directly to me, to Jane or J.A. Hitchcock, and saying that there was this accident that happened, and it was written about in CNN, and it provides a legitimate link to a CNN news article about an airplane crash or some sort of other disaster or something like that, and shows the name of the people that are supposedly writing this email and trying to convince me or you that there is a lot of money involved that they would love to share with you. Why they would want to share this money with you or me is beyond me. I know there are philanthropists out there, but I doubt somebody just wants to hand me millions of dollars just because they found my email address. But you have to be really careful about these, because if you do start thinking that you're going to make a lot of money, what they do is once they've kind of reeled you in, this is why they call it phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, once they realize that, then they're going to ask you for your bank account number, and they're going to need wire service fees or wire processing fees to get the money to you. When they start asking you for money or for your bank account information or any kind of personal information like that, it's a scam. And it's really awful to think how many people have actually fallen for this. I've done research on this when I am getting ready to do a presentation at a conference or a school or for a group or whoever, and it just amazes me how many people actually fall for this. There's one woman, actually I think it was out of New Hampshire, which is next to Maine here, where I live, and she embezzled over $40,000 from the office where she worked at, because she was really convinced that the money that she was wiring to these people overseas, she was going to get, I think it was something like $200 million. And she really thought she was going to get it. And when she was arrested, she was just flabbergasted. And it's crazy that people really think they're going to get money if they send money. And there are just so many scams like this online. Last time I talked about online dating, and there are scams where people pretend to be someone that they're not, and they end up asking you for money once they feel really comfortable with you, and saying something like, oh, my passport got stolen, or I have an electric bill that's due, and can I just borrow some money? And then they keep asking you for money. Anytime anyone asks you for money that you really and truly don't know in person, stop responding to them. You're not being rude, you're being safe. Stop responding to them, block them, keep track of anything they may send after that, and if you ever have any problems with them continuing, it's really making you feel uncomfortable, that's when you can go to the organization that I'm president of, which is called WHOA, Working to Halt Online Abuse, and that's at haltabuse.org, HALTABUSE.org. We help people for free, keep you anonymous, we don't contact the person harassing or stalking you, and we try and resolve it without it becoming a big, bad situation. And that's probably the best thing that you can do. And I'm going on 10 minutes here, so I'm going to try and go for another 5 because I'm still getting over this stupid case of bronchitis. And I have these coughing fits, and it really gets embarrassing when I start coughing my head off. You do not want to see that, guaranteed. As far as scams go, the best advice is, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Don't be a sucker, because there's one born every minute, and I think it was it Ringling Barnum and Bailey? I can't remember who it was that said that, but it is so true. And we see this every day. Not only people that come to us for help and trying to get their money back, which we can't do, but just in general, reading in the newspaper. online, seeing the news reports, people that fall for these scams every day. And that's why it's so important that if you get any emails that are strange like this, like I said, don't respond to them. Don't say, hey, stop emailing me, you scammer, you spammer. Delete them, trash them. If they really upset you that much and you want to report them, we do have information on our website at haltabuse.org on how to report spam and scams. And here I'm going to start. I'm hoping I'm not going to have a coughing fit. And there is also a great website called spamcop.net, and they show you how to report spam for free through them. It's like they're a third party, so the people that you're filing complaints about don't really know that the emails are coming from you, because SpamCop basically files the complaint for you. So if you're really angry about spam, do that. If not, there are some great spam programs that you can get. You can get some that will actually go through all your email and get rid of the spam, and then you can automatically report it from there. There's one great one that I use called Mailwasher. I think it's mailwasher.org or mailwasher.net. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just type into a search engine, anti-spam software, and there are a lot of options, and most of them have 30-day free trials. And this is why I tell people, you know what, take advantage of those 30-day free trial and try them out and see if it fits your needs and if it's easy enough for you to use and to understand. If it's not, then just uninstall it. You may decide after all that it's better for you to just chuck everything into the trash that you don't want. What you don't want to do is to go through the spam and click on a link that states unsubscribe me, or if it has a link that takes you to an unsubscribe page, or it says, reply to this email, we will unsubscribe you. Because what happens is the majority of spammers are just taking a shot in the dark when they send spam out. They send spam out to any email address that they cultivated after doing a search, like on Google or Yahoo or whatever. And then they actually have programs that just make up email addresses. And that's why sometimes in spam that you get, you might see in the to line or the CC line a lot of email addresses that look similar to yours, but they aren't yours. That's because they're just creating email addresses, and they're hoping for a response, because when you do respond, then that shows them that your email address is a live one. And what they do is they not only send you more spam, but they end up selling your email address to other spammers. And that's how you end up getting a lot of spam. So don't respond to spams or scams. Trash them. Get anti-spam software. Go to scambusters.org or snopes.com for more information. And please, people, remember to stay safe online. And if anybody wants to send questions, send them to me at netcrimes@netcrimes.net. If you'd like to be a guest, I'm hoping to start this up in another few weeks. I'm going to start having guests on. And also email me. Or if you have any ideas for future shows, something that you'd like to see me cover, please email me. And today's episode is sponsored by Seacoast Creations, and that is my company, and I make jewelry. I make earrings in gold and silver plated in hoop style and fish hook. I also do wind chimes and special boxes decorated with sea glass and seashells from all over the world. And you can visit jahitchcock.com/Seacoast Creations, or find us on Facebook at Seacoast Creations and like the page. And I will be seeing you next week with the next episode, and I hope you have a very good weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.